Joining us now, the 2025 Broken Arrow Ascent champion, Christian Allen. Slim, the runner. What's up, dog? Congratulations.
Thank you. How goes it?
Dude, we've been trying to organize a real podcast together. At least at the end of last year, we were trying to make it happen. This is, I think, our first time doing anything recorded, at least one-on-one. We did sort of something at Broken Arrow last year, but I'm glad we're doing this, dude.
Me too, dude. Yeah. I'm glad you stopped ghosting me and got me out. No, just kidding.
Yeah, right. We're both dads.
You know how it is.
3 kids. It's sometimes, you DM each other, text each other. Hey, how's it going with this week work? No, I'm traveling, but you're traveling. Anyway, we're finally making it happen. And I'm really excited for it. It's a good time after bringing home a huge victory here in the Ascent today. How's the body and mind feeling after? I mean, to me, this feels like maybe your biggest trail performance of your young career so far, just given the stage and the consequences attached to it with Team USA.
Yeah, it feels great. Had a little rough go with an injury, in my roadblock, and things have just been taking their sweet time. My mileage has been nowhere near to what it's been, but maybe it's just a gift in disguise, having some kind of reset, lower mileage, just because I kind of pushed, I think, the needle a lot, sometimes maybe more than I should, and I felt burnout for races. So it's great to be I've had a few pretty good weeks since the rough go in New Hampshire, and so it's great to just be feeling like myself, and things are going well.
Yeah, so fill us in on what you've been up to. What you're referencing is I think you dropped out at the Sunapee race for the Classic, but then you bounced back. You won the Twisted Fork 15K just last weekend, I think it was. Another victory here. What was the injury you were dealing with? And I don't know, I think it'd be interesting to hear how you turned things around after that disappointment at Sunapee.
Yeah, I had a little stress reaction in my tibial, my right tibial bone in my shin over the winter block. I usually do a marathon block, and I did the Houston Marathon and then was trying to gear up for Boston, was feeling like things were finally coming around, but my shins were really giving me a hard go, and I kept training through it for a while. But ultimately, it just got worse and worse. Both my shins were pretty bad, but my right was quite a bit worse. So I got an MRI on it and had a little bit of a stress reaction, kind of reaction fracture line there of things going on. So took some time off. Longest time I've taken off since my religious mission I served back in 2017. So it was I took 6 weeks off of completely no running. I kept talking to my coach, David Roach. I was like, hey, let's give it a go here. Or he'd be like, let's give it a go this next week. It'd be 4 weeks post, and I'd be like, dude, my shin, I can slap and it still feels like a contusion, or it hurts. It just this achy pain, which is really weird because the 2 previous stress reactions I've had, granted, I was in the college scene where you're kind of in a time crunch, but I would get back to running within 3 weeks. I was really aggressive because it's kind of use your season or lose it. But this one just took its sweet time. So I had to pull out of the Golden Trail in Italy, and then was I going to do a race? Oh yeah, I was in 2 races over in Italy, a WMRA and the Golden Trail. And then Sunapee was coming around. I just started running 10 days before it or so, roughly. Not all of it was running, but some ground running, grass running, treadmill running. And I was like, man, if there's a US team on the line, I haven't made a world's team, I might as well give it a go. Yeah. But I went out there. There's a bunch of studs, on the US scene, and they smacked me silly. So I held all right on the uphill. It was kind of that was actually probably my first uphill workout I'd done. I just started working on getting more of the leg turnover from biking so long, just kind of getting that running economy back. Yeah. So the uphill was hard, but I felt aerobically all right. The calves really hadn't got much work. Biking, I feel you can simulate a lot of the quads and stuff. But then once we went down that downhill, those guys are gnarly, man. There's some people that are techie good runners. I'm more of it can be techie, but I like it to be really runnable. And since it was just rainy and sloppy, it was not my forte. And after the second climb, my quads were shot just because I'd done no downhill running. Yeah. And my shin was kind of meh. And so I was like, there's no point. Yeah. So took that out. And then since then, the workouts have been going really good. I've done quite a few speed workouts. I kind of just did my first little uphill tune-up this Monday, just a short segment. It's 1.07, and it's 1,000, almost 1,100 feet. So it's a real punchy climb, I thought, to kind of simulate the start of this. And things felt great, especially post Twisted Fork. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just happy with things, the way they're trending. The shin's coming along. It's kind of up and down, but we're just managing it. supplementing some biking, and things are going good.
Hell yeah. Tell me a little bit about how you structure your season, because I think you're part of this new wave crop of hybrid athletes. You've mentioned a couple of times that you do roadblocks through the winter months. What did you run at Houston again?
2:10:32.
2:10 marathoner, also taking on the trails, this is a new phenomenon here. I'm sure the audience would love to hear how you think about being able to compete at a high level in both disciplines.
Oh, totally. I feel like I'm not like all that prestigious in the roads yet. You know, times just keep getting faster and faster. I feel like I had more in the tank coming off Houston. So that's why I was really stoked to get into Boston. Like I'd love to get in that 208, 207 range, which I think is a good stretch goal. Like it seems far off, but I think like the people I get to chase the coattails of like Connor Mance and Clayton Young, and we just have all these cool pros like and Olympians around us with Kenneth Rooks and other stuff. It's fun to hop in these workouts and try to hang out with these guys or stuff like that. So it's awesome because I get to work on my speed and really try to fine tune that. And then there's always, you know, a plethora of post BYU guys kind of going to the roads afterwards. Casey Klinger just signed pro. So there's all kinds of fun people to work out with in the Provo area. And I feel like, especially with the way like Golden Trail is trending and like you have so many guys that are really fast and stuff, and you have to be able to hit these punchy climbs to really kick that turnover going. Especially like in a race today, like we had that first like 20+% gradient and then it levels out to maybe like 2%, you know? And that's kind of my race strategy. Like even going today, I was like, okay, like keep it moderately hard, but I don't want to like blow up the race in the first climb. And I think I came out maybe around like 8th to 10th. But like, since I've been working on my leg turnover and doing some speed stuff, like as soon as I opened up, I was able to just like catch right back up and kind of get moving. So I think speed and working out like both of those is really important, especially in just the realm of things nowadays with how competitive and fast some of these top guys are in the Golden Trail.
Yeah. So I want to hear more about the race today, obviously, but before we do, you mentioned the fact that you live in an area where there's a ton of great athletes. You mentioned specifically Clayton Young and Connor Mance, who are arguably the best American marathoners currently. What's the dynamic like? Or I'd love to just like hear a little bit more about how you're ingratiated within this group of high profile road talent, and in what way it helps you improve as an athlete, and in what way it carries over to the trails.
Oh, totally. It's been really awesome that like Coach Eyestone, my coach at BYU, has allowed me to come hang out and work out with these guys. And we got like, he keeps building his roster of athletes. He coaches some phenomenal female athletes as well. So there's probably like a group of 10 or more like professional athletes that are kind of in that realm from the female to male side. And, you know, you got Olympians to American record holders. And so it's just awesome seeing like their work ethic. And obviously I'm nowhere near Connor Mance and Clayton Young yet. And I aspire and strive to be, but it's just awesome being able to hop in these workouts and having people doing things that are amazing, you know, and just seeing people rip around the track or on the roads and being able to just hop in and put yourself out there. So
awesome. All right. So tell me about the race today. When I saw you guys about halfway point, you were in the lead, but Joe Gray was kind of right on your heels. It ended up finishing that way. But in my mind, when I was seeing you guys come up the hill, I was like, all right, Slim's in front here. But you're sort of known as a guy who races aggressively off the front. Yeah. You just mentioned that it wasn't necessarily that case on the steep uphill from the beginning, but maybe just share the short version of the race report, how it played out.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's that first punchy climb, and talking with my coach, David Roach, and having ran this last year, I just realized like, I think last year I went a pretty lactic towards the end because I went so hard at the start. Like you just go and you look left and right and people are like hauling and you're like, what the heck? Why is X, Y, and Z like up there quite a bit? You know, like what is going on? Am I not going hard enough? You know? Yeah. And there's no trail, so it's just kind of like pick your line, you know. But I was like, okay, like keep it excess under control, kind of reserve a little bit, push hard. And then once we leveled out, I was like, okay, like I know my leg turnover was really good. I've been doing a lot of speed, a couple uphill workouts. So really just getting that leg turnover going and get rolling. I was able to catch back up, and I think it was just like I caught up, and there was Killian and Henry. And we were going for a little while, and then I went side by side with Killian. And then it kind of got up to another climb where it turns off to the left, a little steeper. And he took it for a sec, and then I just kind of matched it. And then I took the lead. And I was like, is it maybe go time? Yeah, it kind of got a vibe that maybe he wasn't like feeling great. So then I kind of sent a little surge, and it climbs up and it flattens out again. And then that's where I really try to open up and break it away, just because I realized like I had pretty good leg turnover on the flat parts. And then it went off to that single track, and then we started hitting the steeper climbs again a little bit, and I started feeling it a little bit, and I could tell someone's kind of like close-ish, but I was like, man, is it like Killian coming back? I didn't want to look back to see who it was.
Yeah.
Because there's a stacked field like Killian or Joe or, any of these like historic runners. Last thing you want to see is one of them chasing you down. Yeah. So I hit the peak, bombed the downhill, hit the top again, bombed it down. And then someone's like, I think you got like 5 seconds. And I was like, oh boy, like I got to push it hard. I got one more climb. And so I just really gave it all I had left, and I was able to hold on and push to the finish. So.
I mean, I remember last year you and Mika were like on the ladder together too. So there really is nowhere to hide on these ascent races. All right. So the Americans dominated here today. Yeah. Christian Allen wins. Joe Gray, 41 years old, makes the team again. Cam Smith in third. Tyler McCandless, that's Team USA for the vertical at the World Championships. How are you feeling about the teammates?
Oh man, I'm stoked. It's going to be a good time. Too many studs on the team, too many studs left off the team. I think there's just some great runners all around.
Hell yeah. So you just mentioned this, but this is your first time racing for Team USA in trail and mountain running, right? But you were on Team USA for cross country last year. Yeah. Which is pretty rad.
It was sweet.
What's the similarity or difference there? Like, does the cross country set you up for trail in some way?
I do feel like that. I feel like what I excelled a little better at in college was the cross country stuff, a little more gritty, hard. Sometimes weather can be a big factor, Mm-hmm. I did decent on the track, but I feel like my PRs didn't quite reflect what I felt like I could run. And granted, in college, like you oftentimes get like one chance to run a fast 5K, a fast 10K, and whether you get sick or injured, sometimes it doesn't work out. So cross country was really fun, but I feel like it's just a pure form of racing, like kind of paces out the window. You just go out there and have fun and run. And yeah, it's great. And I feel like mountain running is very similar to that. You got to pace yourself, but it's like, it's kind of taking punches and giving punches and rolling with it and just, using your strengths. So, all
right, you got to be at the awards ceremony here in 8 minutes. So a couple more quick things before we go. Number one, you're racing the 23K on Sunday. How are you feeling for that?
Yes, I'm feeling good. Last year, I think I overdid it a little bit. This was before David was coaching me. I think I just front loaded way too hard. And by the time the 23 came around, I was flatter than flat. So reserving some in the tank. Excited to get out there in a packed field again and just roll with it.
What else you got going this season aside from the World Champs?
Yeah, so last minute I just signed up for is it called Valdera PDA, the UTMB in Spain. It's on July 3rd.
Valderon. Yeah, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Which is, I think, the European major.
Yeah. I didn't find that out until like this morning too, because I was talking to someone, but I was like, there's a lot of good people in it. I was surprised at how stacked it was. And then they're explaining how Kodiak is kind of like that for us here. Right. And then their race is there. So it looks like it'll be a really stacked European field. I kind of signed up on a whim. My mileage has been nowhere what I would want it to be going into a 50K kind of distance, but I think I built a good aerobic base with biking, and I'm just
clearly fit, dude.
I hope so. We'll see. The short race is a little different, but so I'm flying out there on a whim. I just booked everything like this last week, reached out to the race, and they let me in. So I'm going to go do that. Hopefully try to qualify for OCC because I don't have a qualification, and I'd love to be out there in Chamonix in August.
Hell yeah.
I have my July kind of open because we're expecting our fourth kid. So I booked this trip on a whim, trying to figure out like what are the odds that my wife has a kid while I'm gone or not, because she's due on like the 21st of July. So kind of a little close. I get back on July 7th. So she keeps joking, I think I'm going to have this baby early. I'm like, there's going to be no one there to do counter
Summer,
pressure.
Right? Yeah. Shout out to Summer. What an amazing wife.
She's awesome.
Let you go.
Letting me do this. Yeah. So we just kind of prayed about it and thought about it for a while, and we're just going to go give it a go. And then I have some local races. I might do a Cirque series depending on how I'm feeling after I come back, just local Utah. And then I have the Speed Goat 28K. Again, just kind of TBD on body, but 2 local races. And then my wife isn't super excited about the second trip, but then I have to head back out to Europe at the end of July, early August. So hopefully let's have this baby in between, get a week of kind of adjusting. And then I'll head out to Innsbruck, or I think Austria, the Golden Trail in Austria, and then Sierra-Zinal. Because
Jeez, dude. What race aren't you doing would have been a better question.
I don't know. Because of the Golden Trail, since I got injured, I have 3 races and I got to knock them out of the park, hopefully to qualify. So this week and then those 2. And then ideally I would stay out there. That's what we did last year with my whole family. We spent a whole month out there, but with the new baby and me traveling solo this time, since we can't bring all the family, I'll come back home for a week. And then assuming I make it to OCC, I'll go back out the next week, run that. And then I think some downtime, because I think Worlds is in September.
Yep.
So I'll gear up for that. And then Golden Trail final in October with the WMRA final.
And then who knows?
Yeah, and then I got some like road stuff. I want to do the U.S. Cross Champs in December, and I might do the...
Good God, this is crazy.
It's kind of a long season. I think I'm going to extend it to December. So I'll have the Moab USATF half in November, and then in December we'll have the U.S. Cross Champs, and then I'm going to do... I think I haven't fully signed up for it, but I think I'm going to do the Marathon Project on December like 20th. Try to get in a fast time there. And then I'll take a reset and get ready for Boston. So, see. I don't know.
Wow. All right. Make sure you follow Slim the Runner on Instagram to keep up with all those adventures. You got to go right now, but I just want to say one last thing. You got 3 kids with 4 on the way. Joe Gray's got 2 kids. So you could call it 5.5 kids between the top 2 men here today, making us dads proud.
Hey, Tyler's got a couple there too, if you extended the 4.
Okay, right. Yeah,
He's got 2 or 3.
Okay, so what does that mean? 7 kids in the top 4 for the men today?
Maybe Cam has one we don't know about.
I don't think Cam has any kids. All right. The dads crushed it today.
It'll be great.
Good work.
I'm excited to go out there with that Team USA. It'll be fun.
All right. Well, Christian, you're the man, dude. Congratulations on the big victory today. We'll be rooting for you on Sunday.
Appreciate it. Go Freetrail.
Cheers, mate.